Coming back to the Nuggies with 2 golden nuggets in hand.
DaBudz,
and DaDogs. DaDogs. We got a couple of guests today that are probably going to be in the mix. So, deal with it. It'll be all right, won't it? Man, it's been a busy week, brother.
It's been a busy several weeks.
It's been a busy several weeks.
Your racing career getting going and work
finally
and family.
Got that started. Man,
this is crazy.
Finally had the first race. I appreciate you again, showing up and supporting.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Wouldn't have missed it. Saw your wreck, which was pretty fucking awesome.
First race, first wreck.
I was a little scared there for a second. Me and Richie both were like, "Oh shit! Oh, he's okay."
I know. When I spun, I sat there and I braced because I said I'm about to get hit again. That was what went through my head. I was certain that I was about to get broadsided, and I just braced myself for it. But from what I understand, I was further down into the infield than I thought I was, so I was probably pretty safe.
There was a car that went by you pretty close.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We texted each other far too much shit. I was gonna try to find some of those videos I sent you. Go to my.
No,
I don't have a video of the wreck itself, because at that point I was, watching.
Right.
Yeah, but here's some Scott racing action, Big Jolly racing action.
Yeah, Big Jolly goes. I was.
He's not in last place. He's actually about to lap the field, or maybe he's in last place.
I'm probably in last place, but I like to lap the field. Yeah, no, this was good. There I go, all slow.
Yeah.
No, it was really good. I learned a lot about the car. The guy who spun me, this son of a bitch, he did it on purpose. I'm actually not that mad about it.
He certainly did it on purpose.
But he absolutely did it on purpose.
Jolly was in the way.
I was in the way. I told somebody, I said, you're either good at things, or you're bad at things, or you're just in the way.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 options.
Yeah, and you weren't bad. You improved. So, for those of you that don't know how it works, Jolly raced in a heat race first to qualify for the final race. And that video was actually from the heat.
Yeah.
He did qualify and then make it to that final race, and he actually raced much better in the final race than he did in the qualifying heat.
Yeah.
The final race was your second race ever. The first race was 2 hours prior to that with that video that you saw.
Exactly.
So there's going to be improvement. It's going to get better. But, dude, I was proud of you. Everybody out there cheering you on. I was proud of you. And a couple Nuggies come out, and it was a good night.
Yeah, we did. We actually had quite a few people show up that I wasn't expecting. It was really nice. And we found some difficulties with the vehicle. The power steering pump was going out, and it was actually contributing to some of the difficulty. Like, I still got a lot to learn, but that was going to impact us. So yeah, no, it was a good weekend, man. I really appreciate it.
Fun time. And you got another one coming up with the 4th.
So the one on the 4th is actually not for me. It is the 22nd, I think. So the one on the 4th I thought was for my class. Yes. I told him I can't do that because we're gonna be in. Yeah. So the next one for me is while we're in Norman. I'm going to Norman. He knows that. And then the next one is in November. So somebody, he's got a guy. So our buddy Workman, he has a non-profit called 311 Racing, and he helps folks who are disabled or military veterans who've been injured get behind the wheel. And his story's really quite inspirational. He's been racing for a lot longer than I have, and he's the one who's gotten me into this. He's been a massive proponent to help me get to this to where I am now, and will continue to be. But he was shot and became a paraplegic, and he still races, and he races with hand controls.
And he kicks ass.
And, yeah, seriously, he really does. And this is the other crazy thing, and you saw this at the races. The entirety of the racing community in South Texas goes to Chris for advice.
For everything.
Rules, for everything. It was insane.
The rule guy, the guy that was in charge of making sure everybody followed the rules, didn't have his rule book with him, and he couldn't remember several of the rules. So before the race, while we're getting the cars prepped, this guy comes up to Chris and he's like, "So what do we do on a restart?" And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. So there's
the rule guy, bro.
Exactly.
That'd be he's the one friend that's like, that guy's always the beer guy. He's always coming with beer, and all of a sudden a beer that day.
Right.
Now that friend's just the douche.
That was amazing, and that's just who this guy is. He's always been that way. He's just a wealth of knowledge. Loves to help people. Loves to teach people, and because of that, and he's got a kind of a natural leader quality about him. So people, gather around him, and if you have ever been in a situation where you saw leadership was needed, you know that people rush to those who just kind of seem like leaders. They don't even have to
and Chris has a very calmness about him. He's not one of those in-your-face leader types.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyways, off the ADD trail, he's got that nonprofit. The reason I brought that up at all, he's got a driver that's going to drive my car.
Okay.
While we're in Norman.
Nice.
Yeah, and then November, I think it's the second weekend of November, I'll have my next race. We've got some stuff lined up, but like I said, the 4th isn't our class. I was wrong there. The 22nd is when the next race is, but we'll be in Norman, and I've already told them that. And then I think, like I said, the second week of November will be the next race that I'm in, which gives me plenty of time to get the power steering pump, and my fender's been jacked up a little bit. But it also gives me an opportunity to try and get the wrap done. So when he played that video, y'all saw the colors of the vehicle. Those are going to change significantly. I'm actually going with a pirate ship theme. So I'm going to have what?
I don't know if I can make it. That's Oklahoma, Alabama.
Ooh.
In Tuscaloosa.
Ooh.
Now come on out. We'll be there. We'll have the TV in the pits.
With the
We'll have college football on with the remote. We'll have college football on. We'll have cold drinks out. Come out and support. All you gotta do is get a pit pass when you get to the I-37 Speedway, and you can come kick it with the big jolly party in the pits.
That's the big jolly party in the pits.
Not his pits, because that's stinky, but the
pits.
The pits.
It's not the only pit. There's other pits. So,
just point at your dick.
Well,
you said there's other pits.
The location to the sides of my dick. Those are pits.
Is again not the pit that you'll be in. Nobody's paying $30 for that pit.
You know where the famunda grows. So man, it was a good weekend. Busy though. We came back. I'm still doing school. Still doing work. So it's been a hell of a week. But it's also been it's been a hell of a kickoff to the football season.
Football!
Baseball's in a really interesting place right now.
I got some baseball before we get too head into football.
Yeah.
There is some baseball going on. Bro.
My guy has a broken face.
We're gonna get to that in a second. So the Cleveland Guardians, dude, check this out. On September 10th, or even let's go back a little further, on July 8th, the Guardians were 15 and a half games back in the division.
It's crazy.
As of a day or so ago, they are tied for the division lead. They were something like plus 1,000 to win the division just 2 weeks ago.
That's nuts.
And then September 10th, they were 10 and a half games back. So that was 2 weeks ago, 14 days ago. They were 10 and a half games back with like 19 to play. And now with like 4 or 5 left, they're tied for the division lead.
That's insane.
And they're fighting, man. They're fighting. But check out my guy here.
So bad. Like, you see the picture? Like, the ball hadn't even hit the ground off dude's face, and pitcher was already throwing his gear because he knew what was going on.
You're squaring around a bunt, and you take a 99-mile-an-hour fastball off the dome.
Oh.
Last report I heard, David Fry is okay. They were listening to the hospital. It was touch and go there for a little bit.
Yeah, right in the face.
I mean, that is just rough. But that also, in a way, kind of shows the strength and heart of that team. Here's what's crazy, and that they didn't show in the video that I haven't seen a lot of people talking about. Do you know what the next batter did? Fucking squared around a bunt.
Did he really?
Yeah. After seeing his teammate take 99 off the dome, he was like, "Nah, man, we're bunting."
He said, "We still need the
bunt."
And we still need the bunt.
Screwball, the pitcher that threw that 99-mile pitch, one of the best pitchers going today, right? Won the Cy Young last year, is high up in that candidacy this year. But the Guardians have his number. And they beat him almost every time they play him with just small ball. Just straight small ball. Bunts, hit and run, stealing bases, moving the runner over. They get to him that way, where I think everybody else tries to, rear back and take him deep, because that's what we do nowadays. And it just doesn't work. You can't catch up to him. But if you shorten your swing, you choke up on your bat, bunt, you can get on base against him and do some real damage. And that's what the Guardians are doing. And, man, out of the potential playoff teams, I'm sharing probably for the Guardians, man. The Guardians are Seattle, because when's the last time Cleveland won anything?
Yeah, anything.
Yeah,
anything.
And Seattle, you got to go back to, that Super Bowl win where they could have had 2, but they didn't run the ball from the goal line.
We were talking about that earlier.
But yeah, I mean, but the Mariners have never won anything. The Mariners, back in 2001, set a record for most regular season wins. Or won the top 2 or 3. They won 114 games in the regular season. Yeah. Just to get bounced out of the playoffs by the Yankees. But yeah, so good story there. Cal Raleigh is my pick for MVP with the Mariners. Mm-hmm. He's about to hit 60 as a fucking catcher. He's the best defensive catcher in baseball and is about to hit 60 bombs. And there's still people out here trying to vote for Aaron Judge as MVP. It drives me crazy. Yeah. You got to put a premium on his defense. Look, defense is important in right field, but it's not as important as it is behind the plate. Yeah. He's calling games. He's controlling the other team's run game. The man is doing everything and still hitting 60 bombs. He is your MVP. So I think I'll really be pulling for either Seattle or Cleveland out of the AL. Okay. And as we talked in some earlier episodes over the summer, the Brew Crew really has my fancy in the National League. So that's why we're just going to say it right now. Milwaukee-Seattle World Series. Fuck the Dodgers, fuck the Yankees. Milwaukee-Seattle World Series.
Taking it away from the Guardians.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where we're going right now. You put me on the spot. Hi, Clovers.
We like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Seattle World Series.
Milwaukee-Seattle.
Clover agrees. Say yes.
And who do you pick out of the World Series?
The Brewers. The Brewers.
Brewers? Okay.
Yeah, Brewers are your World Series champions this year.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, Milwaukee has been playing pretty good ball.
I made a mistake in Pat Clover.
Yeah, you did. She's
And then you made eye contact.
I did make eye contact.
Oh, we lost our logo. Sorry, I'm slacking. We've had some technical issues, so we're doing things from the phone. It's the iPad, and the screen's not staying up. And
technical issues.
So you're just flowing through everything today. You may see text messages, my notes.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Those nudie pictures he sent to that girl on Tinder. It's going to be terrible.
Dude, my little ding-a-ling.
Dude.
My ding-a-ling. Can't sing too much more or we get copywritten.
That's a really interesting point.
I think you can only do a couple seconds.
I'm going to sing that in the lyrics to Detachable Penis. Do you think we could get sued for playing Detachable Penis? Do you think anyone cares?
I don't know that enough people watch us. But if we ever get that viewership into triple digits, baby, watch out. Here come the lawsuits.
We should do it. We should fucking do it. Just to get the attention.
Hey, bro, you were mentioning football a minute ago. The Cowboys are fucking embarrassing.
Cowboys are a fucking joke, bro. So, here's the... behind the scenes a little bit. KB and I have been talking about this for a while. It is increasingly hard to root for the Cowboys because of the number of self-inflicted wounds. Mm-hmm. I think it would be different if we saw, even just a stupid leadership team making bad decisions. Yeah, it'd be frustrating. Yeah, we'd be angry. But what we really have is a circus fucking clown that is running the organization, and we're making asinine decisions over and over and over again. And I have a feeling I know where this is going, but we went through Dak and his contract negotiations, went through CD and his contract negotiations, and then we completely fucked off Parsons and his negotiations.
Like, Parsons pissed me off because he was acting like a bitch during the preseason, just lounging on the trainer's table and being a distraction.
I agree.
And if you believe the reports out there, him and Jerry had a handshake deal, and then he went to his agent, and it got murky, and whatever. So I didn't have a big issue with trading him. I think my issue was more what you got back. You got back. You got 2 draft picks. First-round picks, granted. But they're going to be around pick 27, 28 because Green Bay's fucking good. Yeah. And they're going to be good. And then you got an aging nose tackle. So you gave up your entire pass rush for 2 draft picks and an old guy trying to have the ability to stop the run. Which, guess what? You don't. Scatterboo ran all over your bitch ass.
Yeah.
And you still have, and now you have no pass rush.
Now you have no pass rush. And to your point, you gave it to a team that has already beat your ass several times in the playoffs, prevented you from getting to the next round multiple times, and you just gave that team your pass rush. And if you look what he's doing over there in Green Bay, he's having a pretty good season.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, they ran into that juggernaut that is the Cleveland Browns last week.
Yeah.
But that defense at Cleveland is legit, no matter what's going on with their offense.
Yeah, exactly.
The Cleveland's going to surprise some people this year just because of how good that defense is, and caught Green Bay a little bit off guard. But Parsons still had a good game.
Still had a good game, and I think they're going to continue to. Jordan Love is what he is. He's a bit inconsistent, but he's got a high,
he's got a high ceiling,
high ceiling, high potential return. I do like their team. I do wish we had not sent Parsons, and I get what you're saying when you're talking about he was being a little bitch, and he really was. He was absolutely being a little bitch about it. But I also think about that, and he's 20.
He's 21. He's like 25.
Is he 25?
Yeah, he's been in the league for 4 or 5 years.
Oh, I guess it has been
like
a while.
Several years.
How old is he?
State. Let's find out.
He's a young man. Beyond that,
how old is Micah Parsons?
Beyond that, I think he acts even younger than
26.
So he's 26. So he certainly acts younger than he is. And it's not like Des Bryant, Michael Irvin. Like, we've dealt with people who act like kids on that team.
Yeah, for sure. And it's hard to control that when your owner/GM acts like a child, too.
100%. And he is the reason that these fools get brought in the first place. Like, he sets the tone for that culture.
Well, it's funny.
He gets pissed off.
Yeah, because he'll bring in a guy like Dez. Years ago when he drafted Dez, brings in a guy that had some reputation issues in college.
Yeah.
Right? And he brings him in. But he overcorrects, right? Because a few years before that, he had a chance to draft Randy Moss. And passed on him because the Cowboys were coming off of a time where they had a bunch of troublemakers.
Right.
So he lets maybe the greatest wide receiver of all time go. And then a few years later, he's like, oh, that fucked me.
Yeah.
So I draft Dez, who was fine as a Cowboy.
Yeah.
He caught that ball against Green Bay, and that's when all the shenanigans started, is when they said he didn't. But fuck the Packers.
Yeah, exactly. And
I hate them so much.
And Parsons.
I really do. I hate them so much. I wish nothing but bad things for Green Bay and their fan base. Literally. If you are a Packers fan, I hope you get 1,000 paper cuts on your ball sack.
Bro, what are they doing to get 1,000 paper cuts on their ball sack?
Who knows, bro? Who knows?
It's
Green Bay fans. Who knows?
You'd have to be rolling around naked in shredded paper.
Maybe. And they probably have it covered in cheese.
Oh, they definitely have it covered in cheese. So they're looking for
cheesy bastards.
They're looking for cheese curds inside the paper.
Yeah, but I hate them. But it's funny. There was an article. It was so stupid. I'm not even gonna tell you who wrote it or where it was. But it was titled "How to Fix the Cowboys," and it was this whole long nonsense. Here's how you fix the Cowboys: don't trade a generational talent. Don't trade a generational talent. Unless you're getting real value back. And I'm sorry, they didn't. I didn't have a big issue trading him, right? And really what I think it is, if you've watched that new Cowboys documentary on Netflix or going through the 90s, I think Jerry, in his own way, thought he was recreating the Herschel Walker deal. Except for with that deal, they ended up getting 7, 8 picks.
Right.
You know what I mean? We got 2 and a 33-year-old nose guard.
Yeah.
And
even then, it was still a questionable deal with what he got back. Now, in the end, it worked out. That was the right call.
Oh, the Herschel deal back in the day? Oh, yeah, for sure.
In retrospect, absolutely worked out. But at the time, it was questionable. And we got a lot more in return. This one, people are saying it, and I kind of think it's true, between this and Luka, Dallas just doesn't know what the fuck to do with generational talent anymore.
Yeah.
They just trade it away. It's kind of insane to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is. And the other thing about this, and I think that this is underestimated. Everyone knows it, you say it, you hear it, but I think it's taken for granted the the air in the room was taken out when they lost Micah Parsons. Dak, CD, everyone on that team knew that the pass rush, their defense, was going to be crucial to winning. Because we can be an offensive powerhouse, but we're just not consistently.
Well, and with CD going to miss some time, do we know how long he's going to be out for?
No, I haven't seen yet, actually.
Yeah, and so that's
actually a good question.
Can Pickens step up, be a true number one while CD's out? Can Tarpon step up and be a number two? Can we get the running game going? So there's a lot of questions on the offensive side of the ball. Now, they're a good offense, and we're going to get into some picks later, and I'm going to get a little deeper into that with our picks. But yeah, the offense is still good. They're still struggling running the ball, but I think they'll be able to sling it out, and I think they'll put up some points against Green Bay this week.
3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks. Okay,
he's out for 3 to 4 games.
It looked worse when he initially got hurt.
Yeah,
so.
And you take the time, dude. We're not winning anything.
Yeah,
take the time. Get better.
At least they'll have, a top 10 pick this year along with Green Bay's number 28 pick or whatever they end up at.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
In a perfect world, everybody in the Packers would catch AIDS and miss the rest of the season, and Cowboys would end up with the number 1 and number 2 picks. That'd be pretty dope.
But for that reason, this year, I'm cheering for Baker.
Oh, yeah. Baker, the goddamn touchdown maker.
We were pros going on.
Well, we were prepping. We just had some videos playing, and a random video came up. It was an interview with Mike Allstott. And they asked him, said, "Hey, Mike, is there any player in the league that if they joined Tampa Bay and they asked to wear your number, you'd be okay with it?" And he said, Baker. He said, Baker. He said, the way that man plays, the way he puts everything out there for his teammates, Baker can wear my number anytime he wants.
And this is coming from a man who put everything out there every time he touched the
field. We're talking about that. My 2 favorite 90s football players, Mike Allstott and Daryl Moose Johnson.
Moose? I loved that
just
guy.
Like white guys that ran over people. I think that was really,
Yeah, man. That was kind of cool to see from Allstott. The whole thing with Baker right now is amazing because we've liked him for a while, right? I've liked him since
we got our Sooner roots, and I've been a big fan of Baker's and pulling for him throughout his time in the league. And some of the things he's gone through, some of the things he's done, the way he carries himself is just actually making myself a bigger fan of his.
It really has. Even there was that he was running with the notoriety while he was in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. He had the commercials and all of this stuff, and that team flopped him. That team fumbled him. Mm-hmm. That team screwed up. And I think when you look at how they've handled their quarterback room since then, that is beyond clear.
I don't know. I think there was some things there that just weren't working. Like, he made the playoffs, what was it, like second year, that beat the Steelers. It looked like, damn, Cleveland's finally found their quarterback. The next year, the dude had a hurt shoulder, and they still had him throwing the ball 40 times a game. I mean, it was the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen.
Yep.
And in the end, it didn't work out. Cleveland thought they had an opportunity to upgrade with Deshaun Watson, which is just hilarious to say now, but up until that point, Watson's first couple of years in the league, he was phenomenal, and then he was missing time because of,
because he couldn't get his hands to his fucking self.
Or assault or allegations. But they still gave him a huge guaranteed contract, got rid of Baker, and that's worked out so well for them that they drafted 2 quarterbacks this year and are starting 75-year-old Joe Flacco.
yeah, exactly. But who's still in there? So you got Flacco, you've got Sanders' kid. Mm-hmm.
So Sanders is the emergency 3rd quarterback each week.
Yeah.
And Dylan Gabriel is your backup as of now.
And Watson's still sitting on the IR, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know if he's actually technically on the IR.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's just there.
He's just there.
I don't know.
And he's just a bill to be paid at this point.
Yeah, and they had traded for that kid from Pittsburgh that flamed out there, Kenny Pickett.
Oh, Pickett.
But then after they drafted the other 2 guys, sometime during training camp, I think they traded Pickett too. And I don't even know where the hell he's at now.
That's a good question. I don't follow him.
Yeah.
I have to go see. Actually, let me check. That's an interesting question. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember who they traded him to.
And then you watched him go to Carolina. And that was it. Carolina, the stop at Carolina, I was like, man, this is where his career has gone to die.
Do you know who his backup was in Carolina? Sam Darnold.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. who had an amazing comeback year last year in Minnesota and is now in Seattle.
So this guy, and I thought that he went to the Raiders.
Raiders, okay. So he's backing up there.
Yeah, he's backing up with the Raiders.
Oh, he's backing up Geno.
So
who the hell is the Raiders quarterback?
So, you watched him in Carolina, and I really did. I thought that was where he was going to go to die. Or his career was going to go to die. But I also knew that they had Christian McCaffrey, and I was like, well, you can't...
No, but that was the season they traded McCaffrey to San Francisco around that same time. They cut Baker, they traded McCaffrey,
And that was the... When you looked at those two things, you just couldn't help but say, man, those are two incredibly talented people, and they're sucking. Like, is that the system? Is it not? It was really confusing. Then he got...
that 30-minute stop with the Rams?
Bro, my heart jumped for joy when he got that shot.
Oh,
I thought it was such a
when he threw that game winner to 2-2 Atwell?
Just the fact that he got the chance.
Yeah.
And then went and did what he did.
Yeah, because the Rams that year, Stafford was hurt, the whole team was banged up, and they needed a quarterback like right now, and Baker shows up at the facility and starts like that day.
Yeah, he was reading the playbook on the plane.
Yeah.
On a commercial flight across the United States.
You know where that all came from, though? You know why that happened? Maybe not the only reason that happened, but during Baker's pro day and when he was interviewing with teams, he spent a lot of time with McVay. They ended up on a plane together. And Sean McVay was always a fan of Baker's, but they had golf and then traded for Stafford and so McVay took that opportunity to get him, and then he parlayed that little bit of success there at the end of that year with the Rams into a one-year shot with Tampa Bay that's turned out to be, he's been there now for 3 years, and so far this season, 3 fourth-quarter game-winning drives.
Yeah.
To make the team 3-0. I mean, it's amazing. The heart that he plays with. And I like that team a lot. As a matter of fact, Tampa Bay is going to the Super Bowl. I haven't decided if they're winning it yet, but they're going to the Super Bowl. NFC Championship game, Tampa Bay, Green Bay. Battle of the Bays.
I like
Tampa
that.
Bay, Green Bay. Fuck you, Philadelphia.
I like that a lot, actually.
Come for me, Philly fan.
One of the things, and I agree, Baker's always been gritty, but I think that he's bringing that...
Moxie.
I feel like he's bringing that grittiness to the culture of the team.
He doesn't act like a quarterback.
No. And this is exactly what I was going to get to. The play where there was nothing open. He had 12, 13 yards in front of him. Runs, gets hit at the end of the play. Instead of sliding, takes the hit. Injures himself. The way he fell.
Oh, the game against Houston.
Exactly.
Yeah, when C.J. Gardner-Johnson got in his face.
Dude started jaw-jacking over him. Baker popped right the fuck up like he had never been touched at all and got right in his face. The man went from injured to fuck you in half a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't take bullshit.
Apparently nobody in the league likes C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And so Baker was hurting, and then when he saw who was talking shit, he was like, nope.
Yeah.
Now, that wasn't even my favorite part about that game. There was a play earlier in that game, and so this was Sunday night game a couple weeks ago. Baker has the ball. The protection breaks down. They needed like a yard, maybe 6 inches, for a first down. It wasn't a lot. He takes off running. As he takes off running, one of the big defensive linemen grabbed Baker by the ankles, and Baker dives. And just before he hits the ground, gets the ball over the first down marker for a first down. Well, the defensive lineman thought he had sacked Baker. So he gets up and starts doing his little sack dance. Baker he has his back to Baker. He's doing his little sack dance. Baker just stands there patiently, waits for him to get down, and then ends up with, first down, bitch! Like, it was so awesome.
Baker's amazing, man. He's my guy. With Dallas being so shitty, I can't call myself a Tampa fan, but man, I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, man, I like Tampa a lot. I really do. I've always liked Tampa for some reason. Like as a kid, we talked about this earlier. I loved Mike Allstott.
Yeah.
So I paid attention to Tampa.
Right.
And then during the Tony Dungy era and Gruden, when they won the Super Bowl, they had that defense that was dominating and had big personalities. And I've always been more of a defense guy than an offense guy.
Yeah.
And so you had Warren Sapp, you had
fucking
Rondé Barber, you just had so much, Derek Brooks, you had so much talent. And so it was like, damn, man, this team is so much fun to watch when they're on defense.
Yeah. And they work.
And so I've just always had a little bit of a soft spot for Tampa Bay for some reason. Also, I dug the old school uniforms, the creamsicle.
Yep.
It's the only shade of
orange.
orange.
They brought them shits back.
Yeah, they
brought them shits back.
Throwbacks the other day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've always been a Tampa guy, and so it's been fun watching Baker there.
Yeah. Thriving.
Yeah.
Not even just, going out and having some success. He's fucking thriving. He's doing really well, and he seems to be in a place that embraces the contributions to the culture that he makes, right? Like, I don't think he's created the culture, but he has certainly influenced it.
Yeah, and he even talked about that. They asked him, I think it was on the New Heights podcast with the Kelsey sisters.
Mm-hmm.
They asked him what it was about Tampa Bay that he stuck there, right?
Yeah.
Because it didn't work in Cleveland. He was only in Carolina for 6 or 8 games. He was only in the Rams for 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
Why is it Tampa? And Baker's answer was so great. He goes, look, I'm not trying to talk shit about any of my former employees or employers or former teams. He goes, but Tampa Bay was the first place I walked in, and they said, all we want from you is you to be yourself. And he said, man, it felt like home right after that. And what a lot of people forget is the year that Baker signed with Tampa, they only signed him to a 1-year deal, and they drafted a quarterback that year. I don't remember if it was in the first round or not, but it was fairly early. First couple of rounds. They drafted Kyle Trask. Trask? Is that what his name is? Trask. Who was badass at the University of Florida when they had Kyle Pitts and that whole team with Dan Mullen and that crew that they should have never run off. But anyway, that's a whole different story.
That's different.
But that whole crew, he was a great college quarterback, and a lot of people, I remember reading reports on the internet that year, because if it's on the internet, it's true, but big name publications, CBS Sports, Yahoo Sports, SI, ESPN, we're talking about, hey, there's a real quarterback battle brewing in Tampa Bay, because Trask is outplaying Baker in the preseason. And they were splitting a lot of time in camp, and all the reports were like, Baker don't look great.
Yeah.
And then the season started, and Baker came out swinging.
Right.
And also, the other thing is, the hardest thing to do in sports, right, is replace a legend.
Yeah.
If you're the coach that replaces, look at DeBoer at Alabama. He's struggling because he's the coach that replaces the legend. You never want to be the guy that replaces the legend. Well, who did Baker replace in Tampa Bay? The fucking GOAT, Tom Brady.
GOAT.
You know what I mean? He's the GOAT at everything he does except for calling football games because he kind of sucks.
He's not great at that.
But
that's a whole other conversation. That's a whole other conversation.
But yeah, so I mean, for him to just go in with that confidence, that swagger, and go, listen, I am not Tom Brady. I'm my own man. Here's how I do things, and his teammates, will run through a wall for him.
They will absolutely run through a wall for him.
So it's great to see. We didn't even fucking plan on talking about Baker today.
No, we didn't.
And then,
But it's an interesting little segue.
Then we're glazing.
Talking about replacing, legends.
Oh, you want to get into Gundy?
I think we should talk about Gundy.
Little Mike, I almost called him Kel Gundy.
Kel
Gundy is his younger brother.
Trask was pulled in the second round, by the way.
Second round, okay.
Yeah.
Kel Gundy's his younger brother. So the Gundys, for people that aren't familiar with Oklahoma lore, have been mainstays in Oklahoma football forever. Yeah. Mike, Kel were both phenomenal high school quarterbacks. Mike went on to be QB at Oklahoma State. Kel went on to be QB at Oklahoma. Now, Kel was there as QB in the 90s when Oklahoma wasn't so good. But he was still fun to watch. And then later was a assistant for Oklahoma under Blake, Stoops, Riley, and Venables. Yeah. And then he had a mishap where a kid said some rap lyrics and he repeated them, and well, mistakes were white, and you can't say that word. And he got fired.
You can't
and it is what it is. I mean, a lot of his players came to his defense when it happened, but saying, I know what's in the man's heart, he's not a racist, this and that, but mistakes were made, you can't make that mistake, and he had to go. And then you got the brother, Mike, who we're supposed to be talking about,
right.
And who literally has been a coach at Oklahoma State since 2005.
Right. Not to mention his playing career.
Not to mention his playing career. I mean, he is Mr. Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
And I knew it was time. It was time. He was making excuses in the media. Well, we don't have enough money.
Yeah.
This and that. And so it was definitely time for him to go. What I didn't think would happen is they would do it in the middle of the season. I thought they had enough respect for the man
to
get to the end of the year.
And they didn't. They just pulled him out. I do agree with that. I think they should have let him finish. I don't understand. they obviously think they're going to change something. But at this stage in the season, I don't know that you're going to change anything enough to make it anywhere. Like, you're not going to have a winning impact on what you're doing at this stage.
And I think their thoughts were, if we do it now, we can start our coaching search early. We can try to find somebody to save the recruiting class.
Yeah.
Right? But the thing is, that doesn't even matter that much anymore in this day and age of college football. I mean, of course it does, right? You want to save that class. But when you do finally get somebody in there, they can turn the program around it with the transfer
with
portal.
The portal. So that was one of the things that I was hearing, and I can't substantiate this by any means, but conversations and various podcasts, people are talking about the fact that he just wasn't adapting to this new world of college football, and he wasn't using the portal as effectively.
No, they had portal guys.
They did.
Guys. I think his biggest issue is the biggest benefactor at Oklahoma State. Boone Pickens died. I mean, Pickens was giving hundreds of millions to that program every year.
Yeah.
You know, but they want to come out and act like the little sisters of the poor, and Gundy wants to come out and, before their game against Oregon, where they got completely blown the fuck out, he came out and goes, well, Oregon spends all this money on players, and over the last 3 years, we only spent $7 million. And Dan Lanning, the Oregon coach, had a great response to that. And he said, well, that's just an excuse for losing. To be a top 10 program, you got to spend money. And that's just your excuse for when you lose and you stay in a loser-ass program. I'm paraphrasing that with the exact quote, but that was the gist. But I don't buy that Oklahoma State's out of money. Yeah. Okay, we tried to get tickets to the 5 days in a row Boys from Oklahoma concert there at Boone Pickens Stadium. That all of that money went to the proceeds, and they sold that stadium out like 5 or 7 concerts in a row. And they're doing it again, and they have other fundraising initiatives. As a matter of fact, Scott, let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you to rank them for me.
Okay.
There's 3 Power 5 programs that have fired their coach already. You got a Big 10 school in UCLA, you got a Big 12 school in Oklahoma State, and you got an ACC school in Virginia Tech. In your mind, I'd like you to rank them, number 1, in most desirable job, number 2, in best chance to win a national championship. Or make the, not even win a national championship, make the playoffs.
Okay. That's a hard one for most desirable. I think it's OSU. But I think UCLA has potential as the most desirable. Certainly OSU for the potential to get into the playoffs as well.
Yeah, I agree. Because if you look at it, for UCLA to make the playoffs, right? Look at the fucking Big Ten, bro.
Right.
The Big Ten is a juggernaut. Yeah. You've got Ohio State. Michigan's going to get real good again real quick with Bryce Underwood.
Yep.
You got Indiana out here blowing people out.
Yep.
You've got Illinois is good. USC still there. Oh, I forgot about Oregon, Washington, right? And so look, if you go,
they got a good matchup.
There's going to be 3 or 4 teams from the Big Ten every year that make the playoffs.
Right.
So there's going to be a bigger sample size from that conference. But I think it's harder to break into that top 3 or 4 in that conference than it would be in a different one. And then you look at the Virginia Tech situation. Well, they're over in the ACC. The ACC most years is going to get 1, maybe 2 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you're looking at Miami of Florida, right? You're looking at Florida State. You're looking at Clemson, right? Even though they suck this year, I'm assuming they will bounce back, right? You got Georgia Tech, who's ranked and looking great. In our lost episode college football preview, I tried to warn everybody about how good they were going to be this year. You know what I mean? So you got that 4, and then you got a Virginia team that's on the come up. You got a North Carolina team that hadn't been great, but if Belichick can figure out recruiting and some different things, they could be good. So to get into that top 1 or 2 in the ACC, or then if you look at the Big 12, and you got about all the teams that are about the same, right? You've got 4 or 5 that are really good. You got 4 or 5, maybe 6 or 7 that are pretty damn average. Yeah. And then you got a bunch of suck teams down there with Oklahoma State. And you look at like what Texas Tech did with NIL and spending, they turned that team around overnight.
Yeah.
Overnight. And there's been other examples of that. And if you're Oklahoma State and you hire the right guy, there's no reason you can't compete for the Big 12 next year. Yeah. And I was looking at that because we were talking about that earlier, and I kind of took some notes here, right? So Eric Morris, he is the coach at North Texas right now. He's had some success on a Power 5 level before. As an assistant and different places he's been. He's a hell of a quarterback coach. He's turned North Texas around. They're like 4-0 this year. They dominated Washington State. Like they're beating bigger schools. North Texas is on the come up. And so that's a name to watch for. So basically what I think Oklahoma State's going to do is they're going to go out and get somebody that has ties to recruiting in this area of the country. Because that's what Oklahoma State feeds on. You can be okay with just Oklahoma players, but you got to go in and get some from Texas. And you got to get some from Louisiana, Kansas, the surrounding areas. Right? And so I think that's what they're going to do. And so I'm looking at lower level guys that have had that success. So my next guy here is Jeff Taylor, the coach at UTSA. UTSA is consistent every season since Taylor's been there. He's successfully recruited South Texas. He's pulling guys out of the Dallas area. Jeff Taylor's a name to watch, and he's actually, I think, my favorite. My dark horse is G.J. Kinney. my notes autocorrected to Go Kinney. And G.J. Kinney, the head coach at Texas State. He's known for what he does with quarterbacks, just like the kid at North Texas is known for it. Quarterback whisperer. Texas State was nothing, a nothing burger program. They were getting blown out by everybody. They were getting blown out by MacArthur High School, and MacArthur sucks, right? And it was bad. He has turned them around. He's done it before. He did it at Incarnate Word. Started there, built them up to about as much as you can build, a G2 school up. And then he goes to Texas State. He's built them up. I've seen him still recruits from OU, from Texas. He's pulling guys in the portal from some of these bigger schools. He's doing his thing there. So he would be another great candidate, I think, there in Stillwater. That's the type of guy that if you go out and get, I don't think you're going to pull a coordinator from one of these bigger schools for that job. You could, but I don't know that if you're the offensive coordinator at OU, the head coaching job at Oklahoma State's a step down. It just is. If you're the OC at Texas, right? But if you're the OC at one of these smaller schools, that's maybe not the case, right?
It's a step forward.
And
it puts you into it puts you on a bigger stage.
And then if you win there, for years, schools were trying to get Gundy to leave Oklahoma State. Before Tennessee settled on Josh Heupel, they offered fucking Gundy a ridiculous amount of money, and he just didn't want to leave home. So, what do you think's next for Gundy? Does he then take one of these smaller jobs, right? Because Gundy, if he goes someplace like a Texas State, like a UTSA, where the main thing he has to do is coach, there's some NIL involved, but not as much at the Power 5, Power 4 schools. There's some NIL involved, there's some transfer portal involved. But if your job's just coaching and developing, God, you'd be super successful at that, I think. And then it would only take 2 or 3 years before a Power 4 school is calling him going hey, But the way it stands right now, to me, Oklahoma State's the most attractive job. UCLA's 2, Virginia Tech's 3. Now, that's going to change because the Florida job's going to come open. The Clemson job may come open. So there's going to be some other changes there.
Which all of those bring up some very interesting points, right? I mean, like you said, what does Gundy do? Do you think he would have a shot at an interview at one of these, UCLA?
Maybe. I don't know. Not UCLA. I think that's a bad fit. I think no, definitely not Clemson. You're not going from Dabo to Gundy. You're not going from a guy that stared Nick Saban down and won 2 national championships. To Mike Gundy. I'm just sorry that the Clemson fans would riot if you did that. So no, I don't think that now, and I don't think UCLA. I think that's a horrible fit. West Coast. That's not a Gundy. Gundy has a mullet, for God's sake. He's not fitting in LA, right? But if Virginia Tech wanted to give him a call, that's not a bad fit.
It does seem like Virginia Tech would, culturally speaking, I think
it feels like he would fit in there. Now, and he may just be done. He was an Oklahoma State fan his whole life. Wanted to play there, wanted to coach there. He would be an excellent fit on one of those college football talking head shows. College Football Live, one of those ones on the SEC network.
That's a really good point. You could
work his way up through that. So I don't know about calling games, but I think one of those sitting at the desk talking head I think that would work out really well for him.
That would be an interesting place.
But if he does stay with coaching, I see him go to Louisiana Monroe, Western Arkansas, UTSA type program, have some success, and then all of a sudden Kansas or Kansas State or, something else comes open down the line that he jumps into something along those lines.
That'd be interesting. Playing with our producer.
But yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on Gundy.
Yeah.
Anything else on?
No, I think it's an interesting conversation, I think you're more in tune with the culture of different schools and that kind of thing from a college perspective. So it's interesting to hear about where you think he would go when as you said it, Virginia Tech makes a lot of sense. I don't know about UTSA. I don't know that he would step into
school on that level. A school on that level.
Yeah, sure.
That's what I think, because I think that's where his offer's going to be. I don't know that Virginia Tech or something like that's even going to offer him, because even though he's had so much success at Oklahoma State, this year's probably going to leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And I think he might have to start.
That's fair.
And also, I think that might be what he wants, if anything, because he, I don't know if he wants to deal with transfer portal and
and that's what I understand. Those are the rumors that I was hearing, is that he just didn't want to do those.
I think someplace maybe even smaller than a UTSA, right?
Yeah.
Like A&M Kingsville.
Where was it that
Javelinas
that Coach Prime came from before Colorado?
Jackson State?
Jackson State.
I don't think an HBCU is going to hire Mike Gundy. I don't see it happening. Maybe. Is there a middle white coach in the HBCU?
I don't know.
Talking about breaking ground.
Could happen.
Hey, on our college football, we're talking college football. So this picture here, that's the young lady. The young lady here that's Lane Kiffin's daughter. The gentleman here is arguably the best defensive player on LSU, one of their linebackers. They hard launched their relationship this week. Now,
guess what else is this
father is the head coach at Ole Miss, who happens to be playing a game against LSU this week in Oxford, Mississippi.
I think that was. I mean, I can't imagine that Kiffin didn't know.
I'm certain.
Coming.
I'm certain.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that she's being disrespectful to her.
Right.
The timing's odd.
The timing
is
weird.
Certain that if they're hard launching their relationship on the internet, they've probably been together for a couple months, something like that, and he's probably met the young man. His reaction to the tweet about it was, bet the over.
Yeah, when we were talking about what that actually means earlier.
If you bet the over, that means there's going to be a lot of scoring.
Yeah.
Is the linebacker scoring?
Kiffin wants grandkids.
Yeah.
Kiffin wants grandkids. Get him those grandbabies.
It's funny, too, because both fan bases are like running with conspiracy theories. Yeah. Oh, this is happening because the whole game, Lane's going to be thinking about our linebacker putting it to his daughter, and then the Ole Miss side is like, nah, see, Lane's known about this for a while, and he's been having the kid over for dinner, and just quizzing him, hey, what would you do under this look? What have you seen twin receivers over here? No, what are you going to do here? The whole thing's silly. I do think that he's probably known for a while.
And that's what it is. It's just silly. It's just interesting stuff for people to talk about. It's a story. It means nothing other than they have a relationship.
Yeah.
But I do think it is interesting that they're going to bring that relationship to the forefront just before this game is coming up. And it is a big game. It's one of several games this weekend.
The college football slate has probably 10, 12 games that I really want to watch. I'm actually kind of relieved Oklahoma's off this week.
Yeah.
So I can focus on some of this other stuff. I mean, we've got an amazing slate, and we can jump into some picks. Do we have anything else? Oh, before we jump into our picks, since we're about to talk a little gambling, or a little picky pick. Man, this past weekend of football, some amazing games, some amazing wins, some amazingly bad beats if you're a gambler.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Imagine this, if you will. Imagine, if you will, in my best channeling my inner Dusty Rhodes. Imagine, if you will, with me. No, but so you bet Auburn plus 6.5.
Yeah.
There's 45 seconds left to go in the game. 8 seconds left to go in the game. Auburn's down by 5. You're getting 6.5, and Auburn has the ball. There's no way you're losing, right? There's no way you're losing.
No way.
Unless Jackson Arnold takes a sack to end the game and give Oklahoma 2 points, and now Auburn loses by 7. Oklahoma covers the spread.
Yeah.
Right now, I was on the receiving end of that. Of that win. I got the good side of that. But I know a ton of people, because most of the money in the country was bet on Auburn.
Right.
We're in the bad end of that beat. But I got my comeuppance the next day.
Yeah.
The next day. I was on the Rams. I was on the Rams at plus 3.5.
Yeah.
The Rams were down by 2, going to kick the game-winning field goal. Right now,
what happens?
If they miss the field goal, I win.
Yep.
If they hit the field goal, I win.
I win.
If the field goal gets blocked and goes out of bounds, I win. If the field goal gets blocked and a defender falls on it, I win. If the field goal gets blocked and an offensive player falls on it, I win.
But if the thing that has the least probability of happening happens.
Not only, but it gets even more rare than that, because we were looking up the numbers the other day, and I forget exactly what they were. But the guy that blocked the field goal also returned it for the touchdown.
Right.
Like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah, that was it. It cut well, how did it work? It was like 3 times more unlikely, 4 times more unlikely that the person who blocks it then makes the return.
And it happened twice on Sunday.
It did.
Within about 45 seconds.
Yeah, that's right.
And the Jets
watching on Red Zone. On Red Zone. Yeah, that's right.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely bad beats. What are you gonna do? That's the thing about gambling.
That's what happens with gambling, right?
That's the thing
It
about
just
gambling.
the OU game, the OU Auburn game. I was like, well, had it marked as a loss. I'm done. Oh well.
Yeah.
Let's OU's going to still win. At least there's that, and hopefully have a good day the rest of the day with my other bets, which I did. Had a very good day actually. And then out of nowhere, like it was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
I got luckier than a 2-pecker billy goat. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
No, I
don't. 2-pecker billy goats.
No, I don't. I didn't even know that there were 2-pecker.
Oh yeah, they're the luckiest billy goats there are. But anyway, I totally threw myself off with that one.
Yeah. What's really sad is now I have pictures of two-headed billy goats.
Yeah, wrong head.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway, so all that being said, we thought it would be fun each week to pick our games. We need to document our picks. To pick the top college games. I was thinking, Scott, this is what we do. We do the 4 or 5 top college matchups each week.
Okay.
Plus Oklahoma if they have a game and it's not in one of those.
Okay.
And then we'll do the primetime NFL games, so Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night, plus the premier Sunday afternoon game and the Cowboys if they're not in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now this week OU's off. Dallas is in one of the primetime games. But let's start with our college picks, okay?
Let's start with our college picks.
So first college game on the slate, LSU at Ole Miss, the linebacker and the daughter.
Yep.
Right? We got Ole Miss favored by 1.5 and an over/under of 54.5. What say you, Jolly?
Oh, I'm going LSU.
Okay, so we're at opposite ends of that one.
Okay.
Because I'm going with our boy Diego Pounds.
You going with Diego? I don't blame you on that. I do think that LSU's defense is going to be the thing.
LSU's defense has been much improved this year. Ole Miss's defense has not been bad, and Ole Miss found themselves a quarterback. I can't remember the kid's name all of a sudden, but what started off as the season, the backup quarterback, he transferred from ULM, is now taking over that starting role and has been fantastic so far. And I think that, plus being in Oxford, I like the running Rebs in that game.
Okay. All right.
So you're going to LSU, right?
I am. I'm going to go LSU
on that here. Now, one thing I completely forgot to mention. We are picking these games against AI. A little bit that we did during baseball season. We're going to bring it to the show. And AI is also saying LSU plus the 1.5.
DaBudz versus DaBudz.
Their reasoning is LSU's offense is explosive and has shown resilience in tight games. Ole Miss has struggled defensively against high-powered attacks. Expect LSU to win outright and keep it within a point. So they're picking LSU to win by 1 point.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So mark them on my little notepad here.
Yeah.
All right, so I got Ole Miss. You got LSU.
LSU.
DaBudzep got LSU. Now, game number 2. Number 1 in the country, Ohio State.
Yes.
In their first real road test. Now, they opened up the season with Texas at home. You know, Manning hadn't lived up to expectations, but that Texas defense was for real. They are legitimate, and they actually held Ohio State to offense in check. Texas actually outgained them in that game.
Right.
So what say you?
Yeah, look, I think Ohio State keeps it. I do.
So you're taking the Ohio State minus 8.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am. What do you think there?
I think Washington has a really good defense.
They do.
And I think LSU wins the game. I think Washington, but I'll take Washington in the points because they're at home.
Okay.
It's a tough place to play.
It is a tough place to play.
Washington's not even ranked right now, but they're undefeated. And I don't know, man. You're gonna give me more than a touchdown with a decent defense. I'm usually gonna take it.
So the reason, so my logic was that I think it's going to be based on who punches first.
Yep.
I think Ohio State punches first. Now,
They have to. They've got to get that crowd out of it.
Exactly.
You know.
And I think that once Ohio State punches first, they can widen the gap. Other way around, if Washington State punches first, the crowd's in it, but I don't think they have the ability to widen the gap as far as Ohio State
if you
does.
get that crowd rocking, I mean, you lived in Seattle, bro.
Yeah, I know.
You know what those
Nothing to their
fucking
games,
maniacs. Man. You went to some UW games right
Yeah.
now? What's that stadium like?
It's insane.
Yeah?
It's
compare it to Norman or LSU. Does it compare at all to those two?
Yeah, I would actually call it. Well, I guess there's
or
two.
College Station, because you've been College Station too, right?
Baylor.
With that game back.
So are we talking about the stadium quality?
The stadium, the atmosphere, the atmosphere, the quality, everything.
Washington is on par with LSU.
Really? That good?
Yeah. Okay. Washington is on par with
LSU. Better than what we run into in Norman?
Man, I have a hard time with that because I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think.
But it was still a great atmosphere.
Still a great atmosphere. It is top tier.
Is it elevated up there? Like the.
What do you mean?
They're in the mountains, right?
No.
No.
So they're actually down at sea level because they're in the sound. There are mountains around it, but they're pretty close to sea level. If I remember.
Just trying to picture the scenery.
Yeah, so you will see mountains around it, but there's going to be a lot of trees and that kind of thing. Gorgeous area.
You're taking the Buckeyes.
I'm taking the Buckeyes.
All right. So we are so far on opposite ends in both the first two games, and the computer's running with you.
Interesting.
So next we got Oregon at Penn State, with Penn State being a 3.5 point favorite, over under 51.5.
I am taking Penn State.
So am I. For probably many of the same reasons you have now. I went back and forth on this pick because Penn State hadn't played anybody yet, but neither really is Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon's played teams with more name value, right? They played Oklahoma State and just fired their coach.
Yeah.
But neither one have played anybody. But Oregon's looked more dominant in those not playing anybody picks.
Sure.
The whole reason I'm taking Penn State here, I'm just gonna be real with you. It's because I picked them to go to the national title game before the season started.
Just staying consistent.
So I'm cheering for my pick. I'm staying consistent. Okay. I do have the right to change my mind at some point this year, but I am gonna stick with Penn State in that. Co-pilot says Oregon. Oregon's balanced offense, strong line play, match up well against Penn State. This feels like a field goal game either way, so take the points.
Yeah.
Which that hook kind of scares me. I was looking at some money movement on this game. I have a feeling when we get to Saturday, it's going to be Penn State -3 instead of 3.5. I like it a lot better at 3.
Okay.
If we can get it at 2.5, ooh, I really like that.
That'll be an interesting. So I think there's a couple of factors there, right? I think that the line, the trenches, are going to be a massive factor in the game, and I think Penn State has the advantage. But more importantly, the whiteout. That's one of those cultural things that you just can't take for granted. You can't underestimate that kind of. It's not the color itself; it's the unity of it, right? I think it's the same thing with Stripe the Stadium.
Yeah.
Right? There's that unity in it, and I think that.
Oh, for the whiteout game?
Yeah.
Because Penn State's doing the whiteout?
Right.
Yep.
Penn State's going to be doing the whiteout. So I think that that's going to be a huge factor.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, I think Penn State can actually win in the trenches. I do think that the Ducks are more consistent, but I think Penn State's going to pull this one out.
Yeah, I agree. We're on the same page on that. Final college game we're going to look at for this week. The Alabama Crimson Tide at the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia minus 3.5, over under 52.5.
Yeah, this one I actually, just going through my notes here real quick. This one was actually an interesting one for me to call. I do think Georgia.
Taking Georgia.
Yeah, I am taking Georgia.
I am not taking a side in this game.
You're not?
I'm betting the over.
Okay.
When these two teams play, there are fireworks, there are points.
Yeah.
I'm rolling with the over. I like Georgia. If you force me to take a side, I like Georgia at home. But it feels like Bama in recent years has had Georgia's number. I think they beat them last year too, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And DeBoer's first year there. But yeah, I would take Georgia. Just that hook scares me at minus 3.5.
Yep.
If that spread goes down a little bit, I like Georgia a lot better. If it starts moving up, I might jump on the Bama train.
Okay.
My official pick as far as our contest in here, we'll figure out some rules and punishments as the season goes on, but my official pick as far as this is the over. Over 52.5.
Well, then, yeah, you know what? I'm not picking against you on that. I do like the over.
So you're going to take the over as your official pick then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Alabama did beat Georgia last year.
Yeah. They just seem to have their number, man. So co-pilot is saying Georgia minus the 3.5. All right, let's jump into our NFL action. So Thursday night football.
Thursday night.
Thursday's had some decent matchups so far, and I think this one is sneaky good. Seattle minus 1.5 at your Arizona Cardinals. What say you, Scott?
Seattle.
So that's who co-pilot's picking as well.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I love Arizona.
You're gonna take Arizona?
I fucking love Arizona in this spot. That's like a 3-unit play for me, man. I really love them in this spot. I was looking at some insider numbers where the money is. All the early money is on Seattle.
Yeah.
Which a lot of times they say early money is smart money, which can be true because you can lock in some good point spreads if you get in before the general public. In this case, though, it's too much of the early money. And those casinos in Vegas, I don't know if you've noticed, they're not getting smaller. No motherfuckers ain't losing money, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? The sports books, they're getting bigger and badder all the time. And so, yeah, I love Arizona's a big play for me here.
Okay.
So I'm going to go against you and DaBudzep.
All right. I'm aligning with the bots kind of heavily. I'm scared about that.
You are. Well, that could go one of two ways, right? If the bots are on it, we don't know what they look like. We haven't tested them in football yet.
Yeah.
We know their baseball picking sucks.
Yeah.
We haven't tested them in football yet. So that could be a good week for you and a bad week for me.
Do you know the rationale that they were putting up there? Like the explanations?
Makes sense.
Yeah, the information that they put up made sense.
Seattle's defense has improved and Arizona's offense is inconsistent. Seahawks should win by more than a field goal. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, co-pilot, but I don't know, man. I love watching Kyler Murray play. I think Arizona's defense is much improved this year.
Yeah.
You know, and so, yeah, I like the Cardinals. I've bet the Cardinals a couple times this year and hit both times. Had them in a sneaky, like, 11-team teaser that I hit a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I'm digging the Cardinals. I actually like the Cardinals a lot in that spot. Okay. Matchup number 2. This, to me, is the game of the week, right? There's 2 Monday night games. I'm not excited about either one of them. I'm certainly not excited about the Sunday night game. This, to me, is the game of the week, a possible NFC championship game preview.
Okay.
These two teams have played each of the last 2 regular seasons, with Tampa Bay coming out on top. When they play, there's fireworks. I've got 2 picks here that I like in this game. I'm only going to use one of them for our official contest here. But Philadelphia minus 3.5 at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, over under 43.5. What say you, Jolly?
Ooh.
Jalen versus Baker.
You know what?
2 Lincoln Riley disciples playing against each other. Tampa's beat them the last couple of years in the regular season. I think they even have a playoff win against them a couple of years ago.
So here I see and maybe this is optimistic because you all know how we feel about Baker, but I see a fourth quarter victory. Yeah.
4 fourth quarter comebacks in a row for Baker.
I see another fourth quarter victory for Baker.
So here's the thing. I love that they made Philly minus 3.5. I love that hook. So you're going to give me 3.5 points in Tampa. So a lot of people don't know, or maybe you do, right? A lot of people, or Vegas, when they're determining a point spread, they say home field advantage is worth 3 points.
Right.
And that's where they start. The home team gets 3, and then they figure everything out from there. So you mean to tell me that if this game was in Philadelphia, the Eagles would be a touchdown favorite over Tampa Bay? Bullshit. I call malarkey.
Interesting.
I don't care what field you play on. That Philadelphia team is not a touchdown better than Tampa Bay. We've seen them play each other too many times, to know that. The games are generally close. Now look, on any given Sunday, could Philly beat Tampa by 21 points? Certainly.
Sure.
And Tampa could beat Philly by 21 points on any given Sunday.
Yeah.
But if these two teams play 10 times, 9 out of 10 is coming down to a field goal, or 9 out of 10 is going to be under a touchdown difference, right?
Sure.
And so I really think they have the spread wrong here. I love Tampa Bay, but I'm going to go with my official pick for the contest over 43.5.
Okay.
There's going to be fireworks. The rookie Ibuka's going to be going. Bucky Irvin's going to be going. Nobody can stop Saquon. The cheating bastard ass tush push.
Didn't have a great game last week. He was okay.
No, but Tampa's defense isn't in the Rams' defense.
That is very true.
They've got some guys out on defense, so that's why I'm expecting fireworks.
I think what
Philly learned how. Philly. Oh my God! Did you see what happened last week in that Philly Rams game?
No.
Philadelphia learned that the fucking forward pass exists.
Oh yeah,
like it was amazing.
So I was just about to comment on the fact that Hurts seems like he picked up the downfield throw again, and it actually looked good when he was doing it, which is something that I didn't feel previously. So I do think that this one, I agree, they're going to come out and try to make it a shootout. Can Jalen Hurts remain consistent with that long ball? We're going to find out. He hasn't been good with that ball in the past, but they gave him some rain last week. Yeah, they gave him some rain, and he took it and ran with it. So if he can do that again, I think you're absolutely right. There will be a shootout. There will be fireworks, and I am counting on that fourth quarter. And I think the fourth quarter
you're
comes in.
You're taking Tampa plus the points.
Yeah.
I love that bet too. I'm probably honestly I'm taking the over for our thing. I'm probably going to parlay Tampa in the over.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that they pull that out. And like you said, fuck the tush push. That's going to cost them some points. But I do think that they can overcome that.
You remember a couple minutes ago when I said Tampa Bay's defense is not the Rams? Mm-hmm. Well, Cole Pilot said, "Not so fast, my friend," in Lee Corso voice. They're taking Tampa plus the 3.5. Why? Tampa's run defense is elite, and they're at home. With Philly relying heavily on the ground game, this could be a close shootout. So it means I think they're also. It almost sounds like Cole Pilot was leaning towards the over too.
I'm looking up the NFL defensive rankings right now. I want to see this now.
I don't know. Maybe I've got week 1 stuck in my head where Atlanta looked like a juggernaut against Tampa's defense. An Atlanta quarterback an Atlanta team that got shut out by Carolina this past week.
Yeah. All right, here we go. So we have. I feel like chicken tonight, no chicken tonight. Where'd they go?
Which way did he go?
They're not even on this list? Oh, yeah, there they are. Okay. They are tied for 11th with the Chiefs.
In run defense? Or is that total defense?
That's total defense. Let me look up run defense. Run defense. Run games. Go to a group that is credible. Okay. Passing. There we go. Run defense. They are number 6 in run defense. Okay. So, I mean, they're not bad. They're 19 in passing, and then they're 11 overall.
Gotcha. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
I mean, that's a pretty decent matchup. Who did the Eagles play last week? It was the Rams. Let's see.
And the Rams, at least in the first half, shut them down. Now the Eagles made some adjustments. And
the Rams' rushing defense is 13th.
Okay. Well, there you go. Then.
So, I mean,
there you go.
It's an interesting point that the bots bring up.
Yep. Good deal. I like it.
I'm all over Tampa.
Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, hit me.
The Green Bay Cheese Packers at your Dallas Cowboys. Green Bay minus 6.5. Over under 47.5. I'm just going to go ahead and give you my pick first.
Yeah.
Over.
Yeah.
Green Bay might score 47 points on their own.
Yeah.
And I don't think Dallas gets shut out. So
no, I agree with that. I do think
over.
I like the over. Green Bay wins.
Yeah. So which one are you taking for the pick for our contest? Green Bay or
Green
Bay?
Okay. Green Bay.
And DaBudz also took Green Bay. We can look at their rationale if you'd like here. Rationale why Dallas sucks. Oh wait, Dallas is pinged up and missing key weapons like CeeDee Lamb. Green Bay's defense is not there and should dominate.
Yeah, they're absolutely. Parsons is going to do everything he can to break Dak's back, and not because he doesn't like Dak.
Maybe because he doesn't.
He might not like him. He might not like him. He's going to try to ruin every investment Jerry Jones has made. Like, that's just, he's going to come in and try to just break it up and say, old man, this is why you shouldn't have gotten rid of me.
He's going to go like WWE Hill and just fucking break Dak's back in the game and then run over and just start beating the fuck out of CeeDee Lamb on the sideline.
You remember, did you see that video of that gigantic fucking kid taking down his high school game, took down his assignment, and then, like, belly flopped him on the field?
Oh, yeah. That kid got arrested.
Broke his fucking spine.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah.
I didn't know he broke his spine. I knew he broke some ribs.
He fractured his spine in two places.
Shit. Yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we're going to bring back the scumbag bit and get that.
Oh, yeah, he should be on there.
He's probably going to be on there. Okay. Remember a couple weeks ago when we got 2 Monday night games?
Mm-hmm.
But one of them, they decided to not start until 9 o'clock Central Time, which was asinine.
Yep.
So this week we got 2 Monday night games.
They doing that again?
So the start times are a little different. They're starting the second one a little earlier, it looks like.
Okay.
But both matchups are stinky poo-poo.
What do we got?
Stinky poo-poo. The New York Jets at the Miami Dolphins. Miami is favored by 2.5. Your over-under is 45.5. We'll let co-pilot tell us who they're taking first.
Bro,
they're taking the Jets.
Yeah, the Jets are going to beat Miami.
Both teams are winless, but the Jets have shown more defensive grit. Miami's locker room issues and poor run defense make the Jets a live dog. Dude, I love the Jets. Miami shouldn't be favored over the line system.
150% they should not be favored.
So we're all taking the Jets.
We're all taking the Jets. And not only because I have Wilson as my fucking receiver.
All right, the last Monday night game. Cincinnati Bungles at your Denver Broncos. Denver's favored by 7.5. Over under 44.5.
I take Denver.
You're taking Denver.
Denver wins that game.
Okay, let's see who the
Cincinnati is a fucking disaster. They
the
are
Bucs
rolling
are
dumpster
also
fire.
taking Denver. Man, I am right there with you guys. Cincinnati is a dumpster fire.
Absolutely.
But more than a touchdown in the NFL is such weird, and I don't like it. And I don't like the spread. I don't like the hook that they put on there. It's enough to make me consider betting Cincinnati, but then I remember that I've seen them play.
Yeah.
So I won't bet Cincinnati either. I'm going under 44.5.
And I would also challenge you to think about the offensive line of Cincinnati and the defense of
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think Cincinnati scores, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Unless they hit some kind of end around to Chase and he beats everybody or some trickery, double pass type stuff. But yeah, I think there's a good chance Cincinnati doesn't score. I just haven't been that impressed with Denver's offense this year. They have not been as good as I thought they would be. And so I feel like under 44.5 is a live number there.
I had higher hopes for Bo Nix. I really like Bo Nix. He hasn't done poorly. He just hasn't been as explosive as I thought he could be.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I am going to bet every one of the picks I gave you guys with one caveat. If I don't like to make my bets, unless there's something that really jumps out about a spread to me, I don't like to make my bets early. So I'm going to put my bets in on Saturday for the college games, on Sunday for the NFL games. I'm going to try, if I change my mind on any of these, not try, I will, if I change my mind on any of these, have the bet on Twitter, on X, maybe TikTok and the YouTube page too, at least 30 minutes before kickoff.
Yeah.
For this first week, are you doing this just for the competition between you, me, and the robots, or are you placing some wagers too?
You know what? It's time for me to start placing some wagers.
Yeah, we get an account set up.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do that for a while. I think now's the time.
So we'll both, if we change our mind on any picks, we'll have that out there for the people to see.
I need to check something because... Yes, so I'll get an account set up, and we will start... I'll start putting in real bets this time.
Yeah, we'll get it going, and like I said, if we have any changes, we'll get them up on the socials, either with a quick video or just a quick post, to let people know why we changed, why we're jumping, and sometimes it's just a gut feeling. You know, sometimes I will be watching the pregame shows, and everybody and their mother agrees with what I was thinking, and then they'll interview like some guy from one of the teams, and I'm like, he's gonna look like
yeah.
That guy just took a massive shit. He's feeling loose and ready to go. You know what? We're changing the pick. But yeah, so we'll keep you updated on that. We will discuss maybe punishments if anybody loses to the bot or gets last place, or punishment between you and I, or you got to lose to the bot, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. Do some kind of end of season punishment. I think would be fun. I still owe a punishment for back in the Kentucky Derby, so we'll get that going too.
Yeah.
And figure all that out. But I think we got a good little bit going here.
I think we got a good bit going here. We need to, like you said, work with the punishments. I think we do a hard reset. We had a couple punishments up there. They haven't been done. Hard reset. We got to hold ourselves accountable. Yeah,
just we hadn't been recording for me to do, and I wanted to live stream my McDonald's punishment on YouTube, and there's been some issues there. And, but we'll get. I'm still gonna pay that off. That's not. It's not gonna not happen. So I gotta eat $100 worth of McDonald's or something like that.
$100 worth of McDonald's, and I gotta do a full episode on the.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. I forgot you lost a little bit.
I still gotta do the Peloton.
Right? Maybe I'll be throwing down on McDonald's while we're recording, and you're on the bike.
Holy shit! What? Two opposite sides of the fucking spectrum.
I could eat $100 in nuggies.
I don't know that I can do 45 minutes on the bike. Man, that's good stuff. Now I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, we'll get the account set up. We'll get those bets in. As if things change, well, like you said, we'll get that stuff up on Twitter before we get to. We said an hour before the game or half an hour?
30 minutes.
Half an hour before the game. All right, so.
And there might be some that kind of close, but that's the goal, right? Because there's gonna be some, or we can just make a rule if it's after that, we kind of change our mind. It doesn't change the pick in the contest, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out the details off air, but yeah, I like kind of 30 minutes, and that way it gives people time to find it too.
Yeah, Sure.
So sure. If anybody's betting with us,
someone will be betting with us.
Yeah,
we'll find you.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, co-producer, thank you for your assistance today. No, the dogs were pretty good today.
I thought the boy got mad and left the room.
Yeah,
he was like, "Fuck this."
He's like, "Y'all want to throw the ball?"
Well, I threw it down the hallway, and he just never came back.
Just never came back. This is bullshit.
Yeah. So,
well, we appreciate it. Good hanging out with you guys as always, and remember,
always a parlay away.